By the end of this video, you will learn how to make 1 plus 1 equal to 3 and level up your progress just by combining two of our easy, effortless shifts and running them together in a way that has them reinforcing each other. You will greatly increase their power, but not the effort you put in. The ideal shift is a small, repeatable action that takes nearly no time and nearly no effort, yet it starts you building momentum. So naturally, once you have understood that and you are shifting, you can start to stack them up. I think the easiest example of this is to combine a shift that is actionable with one where you're measuring. This will create a natural feedback loop. When I promised my cardiologist I would lose weight, I really meant it this time. I thought about all those times I had tried and failed. I realized I had put myself in with all these unrealistic goals. You cannot usually just decide to change who you are, all of your routines, everything you eat, and everything you do all at once. I thought, if I could just take all the pressure and guilt out of the process and set goals I could always achieve no matter what, that might keep me motivated for the long term. Then maybe I could just keep doing that. I started with tiny shifts. One was an action, the other a measure, and I paired them up. I didn't call them shifts at the time. I just called them agreements. So you can think of a shift as an agreement with yourself. I would weigh myself every morning without fail and enter it in my log. Total time, 5 seconds. My agreement, so long as I did that, I could count it as a win. I also shifted my food. I would not restrict any food at all, but I would instead double the amount of vegetables at every meal and eat only to 80% full. So instead of denying myself, I was just adding in better things. This food shift added 0 time and 0 effort to my day. Yet it let me feel better about how I was eating. And that added momentum every meal, putting me in the right direction. As you can see, neither one of these shifts were very difficult or time consuming. They all added momentum to my life and started filling my win bank. Tracking my weight every day in an app became a source of pride, and the pounds slowly dropped off. Suddenly, each time I was on the scale, I found myself mentally reviewing everything I ate the day before. That just made me excited to keep eating better. Every time I ate, I did so mindfully, without planning to do it. I found myself turning away high-calorie junk food. Something about having that daily, impartial feedback from the scale each morning, backing up the shifts I made on the plate. It all just made me want to do a little better. I had stumbled into my first feedback loop and I launched. Looking back, a year and 100 pounds or so later, I am astounded that it all started this way. Such was the power of these little shifts combined. Of course, shifts led to more shifts. Some worked out better than others, but these were my first and my most important shifts into health, and I still do them to this day. They gave me, after a time, the momentum I needed to decide to be bolder, the momentum to shift naturally into other healthy behavior. After a while, shifts become habit, and habits transform into a routine. And I transformed from a guy who eats mindlessly and without concern into a guy who eats mindfully, chooses food slowly, doesn't overeat, checks his weight daily. Doesn't that sound like a healthier guy? Again, with just 2 shifts building onto each other over time, I began to transform myself. Diets always left me feeling denied and cornered. If I broke their rules, they left me feeling like a failure. I would just toss the whole thing out. With shifts and such easily attainable goals, shifting felt freeing and pleasurable. I could experiment and play. I could see the progress or the lack of it. I could pivot to a different shift as needed. This all paired together with a new mindset. No guilt, just learn from the experience. Shifting transformed me. What could happen for you if you approach personal change the same way? Shifts, they're conscious at first, but they become habits. Habits form into new routines, and once those routines are on autopilot, just repeat. With that unlocked, you become someone who is constantly improving. That, my friend, is called winning, and it's the best kind of win. It's the kind you can share, and by doing so, you win again. You are what you repeatedly do, but you also become what you repeatedly do. Honestly, looking back, I never thought this new me was remotely possible. Far from being painful, this transformation was thrilling. It's so wonderful to actually like who I am today. I value it, and now I nurture it. So there you have it. In just 3 short videos, I've shared with you the simple secrets of my success. What will you do with them? How many of you will take the ball I'm offering and run with it? How many of you will return next year as a new you? If you do, please tell me about it. I want to celebrate with you. But if you really want to do this, we can do it together. I've given you everything you need to become the new you. But in this final video of the playlist, I have some tips I will share with you that will really help you make this successful long term and help get you through those curveballs life throws at you that could otherwise derail all your progress. You can see it on the screen now. Just click to watch.